You're watching Chicago Independent Television. Let's return to the counter-inaugural protests in Washington, D.C.
All right. Hi, good morning. Thank you. I'm Phoebe Jones from the Global Women's Strike, which this year makes the 6th year that grassroots women on March 8th and throughout the year in 60 countries have taken action to press governments to invest in caring, not killing. We want the $1 trillion worldwide military budget, half of it by the U.S. alone, to go to the care of people and the planet, beginning with women who are the primary carers of the world. And we're here today with Payday, a multiracial network of men organizing with the Global Women's Strike to tell the world that we are the mortal enemies of terrorist Bush, his genocidal henchmen. We're the enemies of his wars, his multinationals, and his corporations and occupations. He had to steal this election on the backs of black people in order to force his agenda, which is to invest in killing, not caring. But this year, we add to the theme of the strike, pay equity in the global market and a living wage for all our work, because we are going for the end of poverty and the end of war. The world is surviving on the unwaged work of women, from breastfeeding to subsistence farming, caring for people from womb to tomb, and producing all the workers of the world. Yet we, mothers and others who do this work, are not even considered workers, but we're doing 2/3 of the world's work for 5% of the income. And when you talk about poverty, you're talking about women. We want a living wage for all our work. We want welfare as a right, not charity. And we want pay equity for women and men, whatever color, whatever race, whatever nationality, age, or sexual preference. Corporations must not be able to find cheap labor anywhere, not in prisons, not in sweatshops, not on farms, and not in the home.
Hello. Now, this is totally unrehearsed, but I'm in the face of the Capitol right now. I'm thinking about the youth here today, the 18, 19-year-olds today here. Come on, you feel it. Now, what Brenda was talking earlier about, that we have to take what we believe in, what we know to be right, the revolution in thought that we know is necessary, and we need to take that from here and take it right over there into the Capitol. And I know that those 18 and 19-year-olds out here today are going to go there. I know I'm dedicated myself to go there, because if you look now, maybe it's a couple of representatives, a couple of senators will vote no. Barbara Boxer and Dennis Kucinich and Ted Kennedy, he'll vote no against the war. And those senators need to be backed up with all our might. But we need more of them. Because I have the feeling that sometimes neither party gets it. It's not just about every terrorist that exists today, let's bomb them all out of existence. No, let's look at the reasons why these people do that and cut those reasons. Those reasons are clear. They're poverty, injustice, and war. And when those roots are taken out, the reasons for terrorism will be gone and the world will truly be able to live at peace. That is the dream we have. So I know that this generation of 18, 19-year-olds going to college today, going to high school today, has learned a lot from the generations that come before, from the 60s, and from the anti-Vietnam movement, and we're learning a lot, and we're taking it. It's our responsibility, right? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna start it here, but it's not gonna end. Every one of us is gonna go back to our high school and college and start this movement. That's right. The war movement, anti-war movement is gonna go, it's gonna go huge. Thank you, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just been informed that George W. Bush is about to exit his limo. Just listen to that crowd.
Leaving the 15th Street area, advancing to the presidential inaugural reviewing stand.
You're watching Chicago Independent Television. Let's return to the counter-inaugural protests in Washington, D.C.
That's right, bring our brothers home. Never let yourself be called unpatriotic. Do not let yourself be called a traitor because you want to bring all the brothers and all the sisters back to all the towns in America. Bring them back to Los Angeles. Bring them back to Chicago, bring them back to Kansas, and we will stay here. We will stay here all day through this parade, through Bush, and we will go to our towns if Bush shows up, if Cheney shows up. We will be there too. We will be there too, and we will be there to say that we are bringing our brothers home, and we are here to say that no matter what you want, this is what the people want. And there is no greater power than the power of the people.
This concludes our coverage of events in Washington, D.C. Let's join another counter-inaugural protest in Chicago's Wicker Park neighborhood, already in progress.
Thanks, John. I'm Mitchell Szczepańczyk, and we're here in Chicago's Wicker Park neighborhood at the intersection of Damon and Wicker Park Avenue for Chicago's own counter-inaugural protest to complement the protests going on in D.C. and around the world. Today's events are being organized by the All-American Anti-War Marching Band and Chicago Resist. Later on, we'll be going to Acme Artworks for a counter-inaugural ball.
Nuclear scientists, nuclear holy warriors, nuclear program, nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons.
Oh, he's grimy. I didn't get in it. No, it didn't.
The second part of Chicago's protest included a counter-inaugural ball held at Acme Artworks in Wicker Park.
Tell people about
The march
it.
was brilliant. You know, we marched like 9/10 of a mile. We gathered in Wicker Park. We weren't granted a permit. There were probably 150 people at least. Trumpeters, people on bikes with televisions, people in feather boas, people in really up tuxes, and we did at each intersection. We did about 3 or 4 revolutions. It was really successful, and you know, that also like people driving in their cars got the sense that what's this? Oh, what's going on? What's happening today? People are really upset that Bush is in office a second time.
What was the purpose of the march?
Just that to make our dissent public, to make it to collective. Also, to even a smaller event. Sometimes an event where you have 10 people, 20 people, 150. Like I was in New York with like 500,000 people at the RNC. But like something really beautiful about like marching, dancing, walking with 150 people on somewhat desolate strip in western Chicago, and there are 6 inches of snow on the ground.
Excellent.
Also to come together in solidarity. So you hear the president in his inauguration speak about freedom, but I think that his definition of freedom is very different from many others. So I think coming together and voicing our opinions, voicing our resistance and our support for each other is definitely very much a part of the march and this event as well.
Beautiful.
And you know what? When we're not drunk, we're a little bit giddy because we're f***ing so deeply pissed off. You know what I mean? Like that's where it comes from. That's really where it comes from. Like I was in New York at the Republican National Convention, and they threw us in jail for exactly what we're doing tonight. We're in jail. I was in jail for 24 hours for carrying a sign on a public street. My friend was in for 48. They arrested 2,000 people. So you know what? If they think we're gonna stop, I'll get $1,000 from that, from class action lawsuit, and I'll buy a plane ticket to the next convention.
Amen.
Fuck yeah, man. Praise them.
All right, thank you.
Kids across America are digging deep. President Bush's tax cuts mean big tax breaks for millionaires and billionaires. Paying for them won't be easy, but these kids are ready to do their part. In 2003 alone, George Bush put every child in America $7,400 into debt. To these children, we have one thing to say.
Thanks, kids.
Easily paid for by Billionaires for Bush.
You've been watching Chicago Independent Television, a project of the Chicago Independent Media Center Video Collective. The Independent Media Center is a growing worldwide network of media producers, journalists, citizens, and activists, working to put the media in the hands of everyday people and away from corporate and commercial interests. To learn more, visit our website at chicago.indymedia.org. There you can find out about upcoming Chicago area events and how to get involved in making your own media, including how to help make this very TV show. Thanks for watching. See you next time.